Hi guys and welcome to the new SIG Submitter 4. This basically is the revamped version of SIG Submitter 3. It includes Web 2.0 Submitter, blog submitting, and also various other new things such as a MySQL database connection, so therefore all your details can be saved quite safely and securely into a MySQL database. The benefit of this is that you can also do queries to find specific results that you're wanting for either your clients or your main websites for your own purposes. It also has a unique scheduler where you can set up projects and run projects all through the scheduling tab. And then basically has a new SIG editor, a new SIG browser, and it goes into loads more sort of specific details that'll increase the success rate of sort of your submission process and linking to your website. So the first step is I'm just going to go through one of the tabs and just sort of, the initial account creation tab and then one of the other tabs just to show you a basis of how the SIG Submitter engine works. So this is the account creation tab. As you'll notice, the new SIG Submitter 4 has the help guide, sort of help wizards already coded into the process of each tab. So on the account creation it has the wizard, which you just, if you follow through, it basically teaches you how to fill in and what you should fill in. It's quite a slick process, but for this example I've already set up an account, so we'll just go straight across to registration info. As you noticed, it has the username and it has some spin tags at the start and spin tags at the back. Some people prefer to just spin tags the whole thing, spin their name, well, it doesn't really matter, just do what you like. Obviously this way there could be a chance of a duplicate name, especially because it's a generated profile. Passwords, just random. Obviously you've got the email address. Display names, the same as the username. Then you've got the birth date, first name, last name, address, phone number, country, gender, and then the complete name of whatever the profile is. You've then got the email settings, which Gmail tends to be good. It's a bit hard to sign up to. Hotmail's good, but now they have restrictions on a 15-minute, so you can only log in like a few times every 15 minutes, otherwise it'll block your account, or at least stop you from logging in for a certain length of time. But all you do is literally fill in your details. Make sure on your hosting that you have POP enabled or IMAP enabled. It depends on which one you're using, and then just configure the account and run the test. Now the submitter will actually run the test for you and tell you whether or not it can log in successfully. It also has a link to APIs, so you can use different APIs for your SIG submitting. There's a various amount of them on the forum. Capture, usually what we do with the capture is you can set them up per account. So for example, if you have multiple accounts for say different clients, if you're an SEO company, or just for different websites, and you want to try and keep the costs separate so you know what each website's costing you, you just go into this panel here and go into captures and add your details in. As you'll notice, we haven't really got anything on there. They've also incorporated Capture Sniper and SIG4, which is awesome, and they've also created their own sort of SIG solver, which hopefully in the future will become even more successful. And then it also has the ability to process proxies, which for a lot of you are probably good news, especially those who are more into the black hat side of SEO. But for those of you who are sort of white hat or not really into spamming websites that much, then obviously you probably won't require these. Okay, so we'll go into one of the basic tabs now, and basically this sort of process is repeated for the rest of the tabs. So if you just sort of look at this one tab, you'll get an idea of how the rest of the tabs actually work. So for the sake of the example, we'll look at the bookmark submitting tab. So once again it has the bookmark wizard, which if you did just follow this, if you're new to SIG and just followed this, it would definitely get you to the point of being able to submit your bookmark to various different bookmark sites. Whereas if you're a bit sort of experienced with SIG, just click along straight to the original profile creation. Fill in your name, fill in your home page. So for the sake of example, I think that was the name of the user. Home page, just I'll put test.com, and then a description. actually make it about your website. Something like that. And just hit apply in the bottom corner, then click across to the bookmark info. This is where you can create blank bookmarks and save them, which is a cool little feature, so you know what you've used, and you can potentially use them in the future as well, especially if you've scraped more sites. Saves a lot of the work. Or you can just open them up, as in open up a text document, or open up one you've already saved, or just create a new one. So for the sake of this example, I've already filled in some of this information. So there it's got the title and it's spun, so just go along there, and then it says we've got a description in here, it's all spun as well. Then we've got new brilliant reviews in beauty. Categories are all filled in. The tags, keep them short, always keep tags short. In the bookmark URLs, you can have multiple bookmark URLs by simply spinning them out. You can add tags and keywords in as well, so you can have tag 1, tag 2, and then just spin them out that way. You've got custom steps, where some templates that are custom made have custom steps built into them. This can be either to try and get you the end URL or increase the success rate, etc, etc. It can be really helpful, but sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, especially if you're just running with the normal profile creation but under one of the custom built templates and don't realize there's a custom step too. So always check the manual of any new sort of template you purchase. Then you've got the submitting tab. The submitting tab is pretty straightforward. You can open up the websites that come pre-built in SICK. So as you've noticed, they've added a little fail-safe here which is don't use fast mode because it may cause failures. Fast mode's there. I tend to use visible mode. Obviously you're limited on the amount of threads up to 20, but usually what happens is the success rate is a lot higher, and that's definitely something I'd recommend to most people. Or you could use hidden mode first, and then the ones that fail, try with visible mode. That way it'd probably speed up the process a bit more. So basically you just make sure all the other tabs are set up, select register and check mail, select all the sites by right clicking check all, or down here check all, and then make sure the capture's on and set to auto, set that to hidden for now, and then you just literally hit start. So because I've hit hidden, you can't actually see what it's doing, but the browsers you can hear are working. And now we're starting to get, this is obviously just a sort of pre-built, pre-made template, so most of these websites have probably been spammed quite hard by multiple users. It's generally better to scrape your own, so I don't expect a high success rate, but we'll get a few. Right, so now this has created all of the accounts. I just hit pause on the video there while I let it do that, and as you noticed, some registration successful, some unknown errors. Generally speaking, an unknown error I tend to, especially if it's got a def by captcha or whatever captcha I've used next to it, I generally think it's actually a successful one, and it's just the script giving you a false positive. So usually I'd still keep them in the list until I'd actually tested them with a submission. The registration form not found, and email in use, obviously because of this account's actually been used. I'd probably retry the registration page not found, so I'd uncheck all, right click uncheck all, just quite simply highlight these, check them, and then I'd run them in visible mode with a bit lower threads, maybe 10. And basically what this would do is open up the SICK browser in multiple times, however many threads you've got, and just process them to actually see if the registration form is there or not. And that's pretty much it. Then all you do is, once you've got the list of successful boot registrations. Maybe wait a few hours, let the emails come in, check the emails again, then just add the bookmarks to them, and then wait until see what sort of success ratio you get. And that's pretty much it. It's how each of the tabs work. If you follow the same process, obviously use the wizard first, especially if you're new. It'll guide you through each of the tabs. Then once you've got a little bit of experience with it, you can quite simply just skip the wizard and go straight into sorting out your submission process. The last sort of feature we'll go into is the ability to actually create your own lists, which is quite a cool little feature that SICK comes with. Basically, we'll go into the list wizard, and it allows you to select one of the current templates that you have. SICK comes with a variety of different templates, and there's a lot of excellent coders on the forum who'll be able to provide you some more. Obviously at a small cost, as they don't do it for free. It allows you to save packet names. It allows you to choose a number of sites per packet, which is quite good, especially if you have to only submit in a certain amount a day. So for example, I don't know, plig bookmark sites, you might be able to scrape say 2,000 pligs, but obviously you don't want to run all them in one packet, and if you run it from one packet it could get quite messy. So it's good to divide it up into say packets of 100 or 200, so you get 10 packets or 20 packets, and then just run through them per day basis. So all you do is literally put in a few URLs here. Obviously this isn't an actual URL, it could be, but just for the sake of an example we'll add a few in. Then you just say, oh, it is a plig bootmark. Then you choose the packet name, so I'd say plig day 1. And then I'll just leave it because it's a quite small list. It's 0, so it'll use all of them in the list. And then you just hit create packet. And what happens is it saves the packet to the main root directory. So we hit create packet. It says plig-day1.sick was created. Go into here. I need to refresh. And that's pretty much it. Submit4s took practically a year to get to where it is now, and it's looking even groovier than ever. It's now crammed with different types of features, and it's got a community and a support section that's second to none. Out of all the programs I've probably used, and that's probably a wide variety, probably at least 20, including some of the bigger ones, I would definitely say the SICK Marketing Forum is definitely one of the best places for support from a sort of friendly bunch of people. So just log into the forum, get to know the community, and then you can get to make the decision whether or not this is for you. Okay, take care.